The future is here. An innovation that will change the way the industry works. A Hot 100 chart, updated daily. The most accurate price guide on the market. Every card has its own profile with a wealth of information. Know the precise, real-time value of any card in the system. On demand. You now have the power to unlock the secrets of the hobby. The game changer is here. Card Ladder.
Card Porn. What a great name. Power Hour. Hour 2. Where we really let loose. What's up, Jurg? What's up? Jake's still in the house. Hour dose. Card Porn, just a thumbs up. Nice. Yeah, what do you guys think? Got a haircut yesterday. First COVID haircut. Finally decided to get out and get a real haircut. I was looking pretty terrible last week. Without Chris, I am just a boat without a sail. Just sort of sitting here, looking around. I need Chris. I have collected Pokemon. I have a lot of Pokemon.
Porzingis' son. I'll take it. I'll take it. Pretty good looking dude.
Wow. Happy to be the sail of this ship.
In the 5-minute break, I fixed the bug on Card Ladder. It was bothering me.
Nice. That was a productive 5-minute break. I wanted to show these, but I didn't show them in the first hour. Christina and I made a trip to the LCS today.
Nice.
2 boxes of 2013-14 Prestige, which is the Giannis rookie year. Never opened Prestige ever. So excited. We will open those. We will definitely open those. We opened Mosaic Football Hobby Box this week. It was a total dud. No, not total dud. We got it was pretty close. It was not the $800 worth of cards.
Jeez, are you serious?
Yeah, it's come down to $700 now. But,
dude, for 1 box?
Yeah.
For Mosaic Football.
Mosaic Football.
Ooh, that is something.
What else did we open? We opened Don Russ Football, nothing. Illusions Basketball.
You can't even buy a WNBA card for $800 anymore, though. So.
Dude, I got shit for not being feminist enough for that because I got a few people who hit me up in my Instagram and talked shit to me about how dare you be a girl and not support the WNBA Prism.
I agree.
Did you see that Ionescu Gold sold for $2,800?
Ionesco's Gold is currently number 9 on Card Ladder because
there you go.
It had 2 sales. One on October 30th, and then one for $2,000, and then one on November 1st for $2,800, as you said.
Good luck to that person. I just think every time I think of WNBA now, I think of Lamell James, Grim Reaper meme where he's going up to the WNBA door.
Dude, that's the best hobby meme ever made. The Grim Reaper meme where First, he's at the Prism Base PSA 10. Then he's at the soccer. Then he's at vintage or whatever. Like that's just that meme is 2020 in the hobby. Best meme ever made.
Oh, Kramer's stopping in. Kramer, what's up, man? You need to stick around for the whole hour. I don't think I've ever seen you in one of these live.
Dude, Kramer broke 2009 NT tonight.
How did it go?
I don't know. I have to watch the replay. I wasn't able to watch it live.
Nice.
But that talk about breaking the boxes.
That's a break. Oh, we got Grant in the house for hour 2.
Oh, let's go.
He's here for the beer hour. What's up, man?
What's up, Grant?
What did you pull, Kramer? What'd you pull? In
You
that
guys get that Curry? Tyreek Evans?
Tyreek Evans. Oh no, for real? It was interesting. Tyreek Evans, dang. I mean, dude, at release that would have been the biggest one, right? Wasn't he like the big rookie?
That would have been a big deal.
Yep. That's pretty funny though. He pulls like the big player at the time, but not the big player today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about opening up wax from even 5 years ago. This is a Kobe auto, Giannis or bust, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. But okay, hold on a second. Now, this speaks to the Luka Zion thing, where it's like you just said a product that's only 7 years old is Giannis, rookie, Kobe auto or bust.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I'm sure there's more good stuff, but basically, yeah.
In today's product, it's like people are going after like 10 to 20 players, and in 5 years, only 1 to 2 of them is going to actually matter.
That's very likely true. And the Lillard, Giannis, and Kawhi and Jimmy Butler now. These guys are a big reason, I think, why so many rookies. Kostas Antetokounmpo, PSA 10 Prism Base is like $70-$60. I think the reason why those guys all have value is because like there's this holding out of hope that a player will become something great over like a 5-year, 7-year, 10-year window. Like I was at the shop today and I was deciding whether to buy Matisse Thybulle. They had like 5 raw Prism Base Matisse Thybulles. I was just like, yeah, I will, because you know what? The guy's great on defense. Absolute like media savvy. He made like a really great YouTube channel over the summer documenting his experience in the bubble. He's on the 76ers. If he continues to develop his 3-point shot, and I'm just like rationalizing in my head. I'm like, this guy. And then before you know it, I'm like, this is the next Kawhi. Like, he's great at defense. He's just gonna be, his hands are huge. Like, you start just rationalizing yourself. So like, and as I went through that process, I started thinking like, this must be what other people are thinking too when they're just loading up on Devontae Graham and everything. Like, it's just, guys have a window. I think the window is longer because of like slower developing players.
Because we all know that defensive skills are a hobby pillar.
Yeah, so the leap you have to make is like, well, if he's good on defense, then he's a good athlete. If he's a good athlete, then he can be good on offense. And if he can be good on offense, then he can be a hobby star.
He just needs to learn to shoot. That's pretty much everybody's problem.
Yeah, it's easy, right? Just shoot a bunch. Just do like Reggie Miller. He used to shoot 1,000 shots a day or something like that. That's all you got to do.
With that 09 NT, so like what players would be actually relevant? Obviously Curry, Harden.
Blake Griffin.
No, I mean, see, this is my point, right? It's like sort of that's it, right?
Yeah, and even Harden would have been a stretch, maybe. No disrespect to Harden, but like he was a big beneficiary of the influx of new people over the last year, and he became a lot more relevant hobby-wise than he was previously.
I think this also goes into what you were talking about with your 2018 LeBron Gold Prism. It is it does matter to have players from cards from big draft classes, and like because people will really connect with that down the road, and they'll be like, I ripped the hell out of that 2018 product because of Luka. That's when I got. You hear it on my show all the time. People came back in 2003 because of the LeBron rookie class, and they just wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to rip all that product. People came back in 2018, a lot of people, because they wanted to be a part of the Luka mania. They wanted to rip that product. So if you can get cards from those big draft classes and those big products, that people ripped a lot, there's definitely going to be some future value there.
I think that's right. I think that's definitely right. What's amazing about 2003 is like a landmark in the hobby is like even people remember 2003 just because they weren't in the hobby and how much they regret not having been there. Like it doesn't even matter. Like a great question to ask somebody is like, what were you doing hobby wise in 2003? Were you in it? Were you not? And everybody will either have a regret story that they weren't, or they'll be really glad that they got to experience that moment in the hobby as it happened.
That 2003 Exquisite, like, I know you weren't big in Exquisite, and I tried to like get you into it, and after you started researching, you sort of came to the same conclusion. But like 2003 Exquisite was like an unbelievable transition in the hobby, and we would be, who knows what the hobby would be today without 2003 Exquisite, because it just sort of, it changed the whole dynamic of the hobby. It changed the landscape of it. It changed everything, and it was intentionally brought about with LeBron's rookie year. It's just like a huge landmark set that sort of changed everything.
And knowing what we know now, it was not a gamble to like completely transform the hobby surrounding this guy coming from high school into NBA, because he's become one of the all-time greats. But at the time, it was a bit of a gamble to say we are going to like revolutionize the hobby around this player. But the hobby has done a pretty good job of picking at spots. And even 2009, I think that's the first year of NT basketball, and it just so happens to have another. Is he on LeBron's level? No, he shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence. But Curry will go down as a top 20 player, maybe. And so it just so happens that was a very important year in cards. And then, it was like Panini. I think that was more luck than strategic decision. But, the introduction of Topps Chrome in 1996 coinciding with another all-time great draft class from Kobe to Nash to Iverson on down the line.
So it begs the question, does the player make the set, or does the set like coincide with the player? Like,
I feel like it's usually the players that make the sets.
Yeah.
Like, is 2003 Exquisite anything without LeBron?
No.
Who knows? I don't think so.
Nope, it's not.
86 Flair is, a hot mess without Jordan.
Totally. There are sets that now Exquisite was special for a number of reasons, but there are lots of sets that come and go that we don't even think about. That look great, that are cool. Yeah, like Status is like one small example. You need the combination. You need a great set, and you need a transcendent player to carry it. You need both.
I thought 2015 Revolution, it was the first year of Revolution. I think Revolution's a great product. I love Galactic, but there just isn't a big rookie from 2015. So, like, it just doesn't have, like the LeBron 2015 Galactic is a huge card, and I'm kind of biased towards that set. I think it's awesome, but it's just never going to stick quite as much as some of these other things because 2015 doesn't have a good rookie class.
Totally agree. I like this. Just like how the player can make the city, the player can make the set. I agree.
Oh, people are still mad at me about that when I was like, the city doesn't matter.
Dude, you had too many counter examples.
Yeah.
To really make it much of a debate.
The counter to me is that if someone were to come back at me, it's that if one of those guys that I mentioned did play in a bigger city, would they be worth a little bit more? Maybe.
Yeah. This is a good point. 8 Everlast 24 points out Melo was hotter out the gate than LeBron. It was more expensive for the first 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, because he was older. He was like a more established player. He's a little bit better, out the gate.
So that's as we extract lessons from history, that's a good one too. Is that guys who look great in the first few years might not always look great. So Trae Young, baby. It might seem like it's Luka's show right now, but Trae might be the one to carry the class.
The other one is Michael Carter Williams. That guy won Rookie of the Year. Tyreek Evans, Rookie of the Year.
Malcolm Brogdon was Rookie of the Year.
Malcolm Brogdon. That was just, I mean, that rookie class.
But nonetheless, like, so what do you think about this rookie class? Like, I'm actually hearing a lot of discussion about the rookie class, maybe because there's not a lot else to talk about. But like, I've learned more about LaMelo Ball in the last week than I've probably ever cared to know just from my pods.
Lonzo Ball workout. How'd that work out? Dude,
I know.
LaMelo Ball, I don't know. I honestly, to be honest with you, I don't really pay attention to the young classes. I don't watch like the YouTube highlights. I'm not in a position to make the call. All I know is that the balls get so much overhyped that I keep my distance.
I will say though, like even when the Pelican / old Laker was drafted, they said his youngest brother was a better basketball player.
Yeah.
He was drafted. So like I don't know if I believe the hype, but I want to throw that in there.
Yeah, but he like 2 years ago he was playing like open court pickup high school basketball where guys are just launching half court shots with no offensive scheme, and now all of a sudden he's going to be playing in the most competitive league in the world. It's a stretch to say he's going to be able to make that jump, and he didn't play college basketball. He's playing overseas. I mean, that's maybe why Luka was so successful. He was playing in championship games with grown men in Europe. Like tell me more about that.
Huge part of it. Not only that, he was the MVP of the tournament. That
he was super young. He was super young.
He was 18. So that the experience is super important. There's another similar player who doesn't have quite the same accomplishments, but his name's Denny Abdija or something. I've watched reels on this guy. His game looks very crisp. He's half Israeli, half Serbian, and he's projected to be a top 5 pick. Some people even have him going to like the top 2. The scouting report is that this guy could be anywhere from Hito Turkoglu to Dario Saric to Luka. That's the range. People just don't know how he's going to translate. But he looks good, man. His game is crisp, and he's got that professional overseas experience. Lamell has professional overseas experience too. He was in the Australian league for a little while. The percentages leave a lot to be desired. I think all the percentages were really rough.
Someone pointed out you need to watch them in order to invest. Great point.
Super good point. I guess here's a question I'd ask. When you're thinking about LaMelo, would you be happy or disturbed if he joined your favorite team?
Cautious. It's like I'd be annoyed at the media attention he brings.
Yeah, the media attention. I would be disturbed if he joined the Mavericks. I don't want anything to do with him on the Mavericks.
Yeah, that's a terrible fit. Terrible fit. Good Lord.
He's going to have to fit in somewhere. I don't know.
The percentages are bad, dude. It's real bad.
Yeah.
He can't shoot. I don't know.
Right. That's not good.
Luka isn't the best three-point shooter. He obviously needs to work on his three-point shot and his free throws, but like, he's maybe the best finisher as a guard in the NBA. Finisher as in like high percentage. Once he's around the basket, he's finishing the shot or getting someone involved. He's just, he's got staggering numbers around the basket.
Yeah, and you can't teach size. The guy's just a bull.
I love listening to Mark Cuban talk about him because Mark Cuban is one of the few owners that doesn't really get emotional about it. He's just like, he's calling what he sees and he's very technical about it. And he's just, talking about his size is the first thing he points out is like, dude, the guy's 6'7", 6'8", point guard. Like, it's a huge advantage.
It absolutely is. It makes him difficult to guard. Okay, Abdiha. Okay, Denny Abdiha. Thank you for fixing the pronunciation. That's a guy to watch, though. I'm kind of excited about it. I hope the Bulls are able to draft him. I think he'd be a good fit.
Lamell didn't like dominate this Euro League the Australian League like
no, he didn't.
Euro League. Dude, freaking Suns should have drafted him. It's so annoying. Would you be a Suns fan right now?
Huge. I probably would have been to several Suns games by now, right alongside you.
Lamello's 6'7".
We might have moved to Arizona. If you guys
God, it's all your fault.
and Luca, so we would have been
That would
like,
have sealed the
all
deal.
right, Josh, we're moving next door.
Stupid Illinois. What a dumb state.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. All right, let's see here. Lefko points out something interesting. All right, so we were in the shop today. We were like, when is Prism football coming out? It was supposed to come out this month, and it got delayed to December. So now Prism football is going to be till December, and the NBA starts in December. Things are about to go from a low to a very high level of activity in a month in the hobby.
Can't wait, man.
I can. We have our hands full now with hobby stuff. Like, I don't even, God, I can't imagine things. I just don't mind the peace and quiet every once in a while in the hobby. We had a very busy year. Let's just recap the year for 5 seconds. This year was insane in the hobby. Is that fair?
Chris in 5 seconds. That's hilarious.
Just think about this year.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
insane.
2020 wasn't just insane. It wasn't just insane for the world. It was insane for the hobby too.
And it was so scary when COVID hit, and we were all just like, "Is the ride over? You know, is this done?" And it was the exact opposite. It was just getting started. We were like, will the NBA play another game anytime soon? Remember, that was like a very stressful moment.
Yeah, that Jazz game.
Just this year has been crazy. I wouldn't mind a little bit of exactly 2020 hobby roller coaster. It really was.
LeBron posted on his Instagram a reaction to the date announced of the new season, and it was he put up a graphic of like the shortest off season ever. It's like 71 games, which is like by far he just did a face palm emoji like, oh my god, I don't get any break.
No, and so he said on the shop that, tongue in cheek, but maybe some truth to it. He was like, yeah, so guess what, guys? This is why I have Anthony Davis. I'm going to pick my spots in the first half of the season. And like I understand why he has to say that, because otherwise he's going to get this flack. Oh, you're not trying on defense or whatever. Like, no, dude, I just had a 2-month off season. The normal length is 4 to 5. Like, yeah, of course I'm going to take it easy. And guess what? I had to play for a month or two. Trae Young hasn't played a game in a year.
Steph Curry hasn't played in 2 years. Or Durant.
Yeah, he's going to take it a little easy. So just get ready.
Yeah, it's like if LeBron doesn't get back on D for the first 2 months of the next season, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Just dude. And besides, like,
see you in June, bitches.
Just get to the playoffs. You know, just get to the playoffs. Who cares? Exactly.
See you in June.
Wait, just get to the playoffs.
I'll be shocked if they make the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I think it's over, man. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. Utah is going all the way, baby. Rudy Gobert, give him a supermax.
This is the year where Anthony Davis could really spread his wings, though. Like he's got no pressure on him anymore. He's got the title. He clearly LeBron is I don't know if he's like handing the keys over, but he's gonna like give him the regular season keys to the team. He's gonna, you know, he knows how to play with LeBron by now. Like it's been a year and a half, so I think Anthony Davis could have a monster season.
Yeah, I think that's very likely. A lot of the smart basketball people are even higher on him now than they were a year ago.
Oh yeah, dude. This is what all the retired veterans talk about. They talk about how after you win a championship is your best season, because it's like you're not thinking about it anymore. You're just playing basketball, and you're just like, you know how to win now, and it's just like you're unleashed. And like Isaiah Thomas brings it up all the time. Magic Johnson talks about it. Like Anthony Davis can have a monster season.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising at all. Do you think the Lakers are going to make any moves? Any kind of big moves. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna.
Would you like to see them? Would you like to see them go out and get anybody?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, yeah, like tool up. I mean, they're probably gonna lose Rondo. You know, like they'll probably lose. They might lose Contavious Caldwell Pope, and they got those are like huge. You know, like huge guys in the playoff run, their finals run. Caldwell Pope was their third best player in the finals. No, no debate. So I mean, they're gonna have to pick up some big pieces potentially, and I don't know that they'll be able to have enough money to go get someone big like Beal or something like that. But you know, there's gonna be a lot of guys that want to go on that team. They got CP3. That would be huge. Obviously, it would be
CP3 would be a great guy to complement AD, right? Like,
yeah,
super smart player. Let him run the offense. Find a way to get the ball to AD on the block and just get out of the way.
And we've seen now LeBron at this age able to sort of defer to Rondo, and there was even reports that Rondo had to like not beg, but like convince LeBron to let him do it, let him take over the offense, and LeBron like stepped back a little bit, and Rondo was able to run the offense a lot, and it paid off huge in the playoffs.
Dude, yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, don't count on Rondo for anything regular season, but when he gets to the playoffs, the guy is a valuable part. The guy can be a valuable part of a championship team.
Derrick Rose, people are mentioning. I've heard that too.
Dude, I watched a documentary about Derrick Rose. We watched it.
Yeah.
It was really good, man. He is so humble and likable.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video of him in China? He's like, have you seen that?
I've not.
There's like it was like a little bit after he had all those knee injuries, and he was just kind of going through a rough time, obviously. And there was a video. He like went to China for like as part of his Adidas deal. Like he went and played in China, and like the people there made a video of him, and it was just like totally like a really nice tribute video for Derrick Rose, and the people there just loved him, and they didn't care that he wasn't the same player, and he was just like he was just crying like crazy because he's like, there's people out there that just sort of like remember me for what I was, and man, it was good stuff. Yeah, what's the Rose doc? Tell us about it.
The Rose documentary's on YouTube. Damn, I don't remember what it's called. Could you see if you could find it? Christina will find out what it's called. It was made pretty recently because it included when he was traded to the Knicks. And it talks about that.
It talks about him being traded to Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was called Pooh.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's that one down there. Derrick Rose documentary. Is that it? Uploaded by D Rose Legacy? Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it's called Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose documentary full by Stadium Films. And they had a lot of they had like one of these local Chicago sports commentators on there who was really brutal to him. It was interesting to hear from that guy. And after it was just Rose's story is very endearing. And they show like there's this part where he finds out that he got traded to the Knicks, and he becomes very emotional about it. And he's like, okay, because the city of Chicago had kind of turned on him.
Yeah.
And so that was like interesting to watch. Right afterwards, I went to Card Ladder and I started adding some Derrick Rose cards because like we got to have Derrick Rose on Card Ladder. And you know what I found that was insane, and it speaks to the hobby. Derrick Rose was a super hot commodity. I mean, the guy was the youngest MVP in NBA history. He was just a tremendous player.
Prices have gone up.
Dude, his all-time high price was recorded in August of this year.
Yeah. Same. I said earlier in the show, I was like, Blake Griffin and Westbrook card prices have gone down. That's not true. They've probably gone up.
Right. So, but what you're saying is, relative to the baseline.
Yeah.
So, relative to Curry, right?
Yeah.
Like
he hasn't 10x. He hasn't 10x like LeBron. He's only 2x.
Right. So, like, and that's something that I think is very confusing. That people have to be able to sift through is that everything in the hobby has done well in the last year, super well. So, we're not all Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger because our PC's 3x'd. Everybody's PC 3x'd, right? Like that doesn't. So we're measuring. We're all like patting ourselves on the back for like having done well, because the hobby as a whole expanded, and we were just lucky enough to be here early. But the way to measure how well one has done, if we're looking at it competitively like that, is like how well did your picks or predictions perform relative to the baseline. Anybody, you could have been holding Costas Antetokounmpo cards and have done well. Like
we did win the championships.
He did. He was the first Antetokounmpo to get the ring.
That was the weirdest video of the whole celebration. Was him just like holding the trophy and the flags, and he's just sort of like standing there and like, what's happening?
Yeah.
There's a Stephon Marbury documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's him like playing in the Chinese league, and again, it's just sort of how these Chinese fans are just sort of like, what's the word? It's like they just like, the Chinese people just like love these players unconditional. It's like an unconditional love. Like they don't care as much about sort of the ups and downs of these players and like the injuries. They love the players and the people. I think that's a big part about why basketball cards are so popular and so, well valued, is that the Asian market is just a very strong like collector base, and they love these players.
Asia, super important to sports cards. Super duper important. I think if we had a card Olympics, Asia wins. They just win. They have the great collectors, man. They do. I have to say it.
Not as our MJ though.
We do have the ringer. We definitely have the ringer. So I don't know. We might not have the depth, but we have the GOAT. But Asia did, they're great fans. They just love basketball. Like when Kobe would go visit different parts of Asia, and it was important to sports that our athletes went to Asia and visited them. Like when I was talking to Stephen Go, he said like the thing that got him back into cards was when Dennis Rodman and several other athletes went over to the Philippines in the early 2010s and did a little appearance and played like a celebrity game. Like that's what got him back into basketball cards, was them. Yeah. And now that guy's one of the great collectors of all time. Like
you seem more loyal and like grateful for those players. Unlike here, we're so critical, right? And we're so like, how good were you in the last game? And what have you done for me lately? Mindset. And like, you have to be good now. Like we draft these quarterbacks and throw them out week one, and you better be good week one. And in China and in Asia countries, it just seems like they're just more like, they just like understand the broader picture better. Am I off there?
No, I think that's right. And when they collect a player, they don't seem to be as fixated on the short term. They collect players for the long haul. So like when they get involved with the player, it's usually a pretty good sign for that player's market.
Very good sign, dude. And you and I talk about this a lot in private, but like Asian collectors love Luka Doncic. They fucking love that guy. It's huge. It's a huge factor. You can't deny it.
It is. And so you have LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Curry, and then Luka starts. Luka might be up there approaching top 5 among Asian collectors.
Hey, Christian, you need to make a meme of Chris being some sort of sail on my boat. I think that's going to be I said that really weird thing at the beginning, and now you need to make a meme about something about like the wind beneath my wings or some sail or some shit. Make it happen, Christian.
I thought it was a great metaphor. Lamell says Trey is beloved in Russia. Yeah. Maybe they'll come over here and interfere in the market. Prop up Trey a little bit.
Well, what's worse, Russia interfering or fraudulent vote counting? What's worse?
I mean, Russia does both, right? So they're just meddling. Plus, Putin, I hear, is maybe stepping down. So he might start hoarding Trae Young cards with all his free time.
Is that Is that a correlative to Trump losing? What's going on there?
I don't know, man. That's way beyond my knowledge base.
Knowledge or care, or like, how much you care about it?
I mean, I think they both go together. Levine, the same page. Putin been stocking up on trays. I think so, man.
It's the T, right? Like politics. Whoosh.
Yep, I'm the same way.
I tried to understand politics this week, and I'm just like, geez, this is why no one cares about politics. These guys are counting votes for 4 days. Come on.
Yeah, they are. And then you try to watch the coverage, and like they try to like suck you into their little nerd world. And like we can call them having a nerd world because we have a nerd world too. But their nerd world is like, okay, you should really care about these like the balance of power in the House. The Republicans are picking up 5 seats, and they were supposed to pick up 4. Like it's like, no, I'm not tuning in to hear this. I don't know. Just tell me who won and tell me how.
They're zooming in on counties that you've never heard of and states you don't care about. I'm like, guys, we need to know what's going on in the Allaho County of Pennsylvania right now. We need to figure out. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, and they're just nerding out hardcore. That's like you and me talking about like a sale that happened 6 months ago on a obscure like Kobe 98 flare card or something. Like a few people care about it. Definitely a few people care about it. Will Putin's rookies go up when he retires?
Dude, hey, Christian, where are the memes about relating PSA and BGS turnaround times to vote counting? That's some gold content right there.
I think it is too. I think our vote counting is giving PSA and BGS a pass, right? Like these backlogs don't look quite as bad when we can't even count ballots.
The best meme, and I really don't want to have to sing this because this is, I'm on beer for, but I will do it. This, it's like an R&B song where he's like, one, you're like a dream come true. He's like, it was just a meme of that guy singing that song, and it's like, this isn't bad at counting votes.
That's Brian Mcknight, yeah.
But in the song, in the song, he's like, then we'll start back at 1. It's like, oh, come on, count the.
Yeah, that's good.
Brian Mcknight, man, you're all about that R&B hip hop from that era, right?
I do know that era very, very well. I would be able to tell you a lot of things from that era.
Shout out to Brian Mcknight, guys.
Yep, that's not even close to Brian McKnight's best song either.
I just looked at the clock, like, geez, it's late. We're talking about Brian McKnight.
We have the great Captain Jack. Very talented music producer. You should message him, Captain_Jack_Collector. Message him and ask him if you can hear some of his music. The guy's awesome. When I was first working on Card Lab, I was just listening to his instrumental tape. It was awesome. Christian knows that 90s R&B. Yeah, he does.
Dude, 90s R&B is sick, man.
Well, 90s was just a great era for music across the board.
Before R. Kelly was peeing on people, that was the day. Yeah, okay. Man, maybe we should like entertain a question here. That's silly, but all right, we'll try.
There are so freaking many questions. Let's okay, we had 3 questions on this topic, so let's just deal with this topic right now. This comes from Rips and Ships. Does Prism draft picks have any value considering Prism doesn't come out till next year? And then Akuns ZT says, with Prism coming out next year, does Prism draft picks hold any value until then? So basically the same question. And there's one more, but okay, the point of it is this. Does Prism draft picks have value? What do you say?
The answer is the same as it is every year. It holds value until Prism comes out.
And this is, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with this question because people go through this every year. Every year this comes up. It's like you have this draft product or numerous draft products, and people are like, will I wait for the Zion NBA cards or will I buy the Duke cards?
The Duke's different. It's a big established No, it's the big school. Just make sure you sell it before the real products start coming out. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have some people really trying to convince me this year. Like, this is the year.
And it's an important thing because the reason why we buy Prism Draft, the reason why that product works.
I knew that I wasn't going to get away with saying that.
There it is. We'll just leave that one in the chat for anybody who's lucky enough to read that.
There you go.
Here, where'd it go?
I got it.
Oh, pinned it.
There it is. Well said. Our patience and discipline gets tested all the time in this hobby. Whether it's, hey, should I buy Prism Draft that's coming out or before the NBA product? Why do you think Prism Draft never comes out after the NBA product? So should I buy Prism Draft? Our patience and our discipline gets tested all the time. Should I sell these raw cards that I just pulled, or should I take the time to grade them? Should I buy Justin Herbert mosaics when they first come out, or should I wait a month and let the price go down? Our patience is constantly being tested in this hobby.
The mosaic Herbert stuff is so funny because it's like people are like, that's like the thing to own. And it's like, yeah, because it's literally the only rookie card he has.
Exactly.
In a year, it's going to be like the 6th most important rookie card, 7th. It's like, who cares?
So Herbert's mosaic rookie card raw got as high as $61 in late September, and now it sells for $25. That is the slope that new product follows almost without fail. New stuff comes out. People know this, I think, by now. People know, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. All right, this is the.
His cards went down. No.
This is it gets no better than this. Okay, hold on.
That card is like $60, right? That one score one or whatever.
Okay, Donruss. Oh, I thought I flipped this.
Shoplifting.
2020 Donruss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, $1.25.
Dude, look how high this card was at one point. This card was $160.
Oh, that's a big Eiffel Tower. Oh my god. Oh shit. Very well done.
Okay. When the new product hits, it's just we know this. I think everybody knows this. Maybe they don't, but we just can't help ourselves. So our patience and discipline is constantly tested. And, Prism Draft is just like that on steroids.
If you guys say something funny now, I'll pin your comment. Whoever says something funny gets pinned. I made a fortune on Prism Draft last year from shopping. Soccer cards graph. That's right. Those are my favorite graphs.
Yes. I've got a great soccer card graph.
That's how influential Lamell James is now in the hobby. Like his like memes are what defines eras of cards. Like he is the sports card crash. Or soccer card crash.
Yes. Lamell brings a little bit of that dark energy that we need, that we love.
My mental stability during the show. Ouch. So true.
Okay, what else do we have here? All right, this question came in. This is a nice OT question. Discuss a trade or an encounter that influenced how you did business going forward. I mean, like anything. Did anything? I was trying to think about this for myself. Was there ever a deal or something that just changed the way that? Can you think of anything? Did we ever experience anything where it's just like, oh, no, probably not.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I thought it might be a good question. It's a fun question. I just wish I had an answer to it.
It's just like everybody wants way more than market value, and I now have learned that I just expect it at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so you know that I made an offer on a card tonight, a very strong offer. That's something that I learned is that make a huge, strong offer because that will get a deal done, and just suck it up. And if you take a short-term loss, who cares? If it's a card that you love that's for your PC. That's a lesson that I've learned.
Especially when it's a pile like that.
Yes. Yep. Definitely. Definitely. When you can consolidate a pile, you're okay taking a loss, taking a few lumps.
A pile of 35,000 in cards, like a pile, like 10 or more cards worth 35K. Trading for one 25 to 30K card is an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Especially given that, like in most cases, if you're doing that today, that 35K pile you probably paid 10,000 for.
Yep. Very, very true. Can I tell you the card? No. Hopefully I can tell you next week. This one is a little too unconfirmed. We're still counting the ballots.
I'm still trying to get it. Screw you, man. I'm trying to get that thing.
Good to see. We already have too much competition for it.
It's a card with a player on it, and it's got color.
Don't give it away.
So it's not black and white.
Someone asked that earlier in the show. How do you sell a pile to get a good card, or how do you decide what cards to sell? And it's just like, if you have cards in piles, that generally means that they're in piles for a reason, right? Like you don't have like a love for that card, those cards.
Yeah. Grant knows the card. Grant probably does know the card.
Yeah, tell us the story of buying the Luka Gold.
Oh man, there's layers to this story that still reverberate to this day. I worked at a law firm last summer, so was just rolling in the dough, and as Christina does all the hard work of keeping the roof over the head, and so suddenly we're this double income family for one summer, for less than a summer, for 8 weeks. And so, of course, having absolutely no discipline at all, as soon as I get a paycheck, I'm just ready to spend every dollar. And there had been the Luka Gold had been sitting on eBay. And I tried to convert a pile into the Luka Gold already. I had tried to do it. This was like in May. I tried to convert a pile, and I sent the guy like a picture of like 20 cards and put the price on each card. And I was like, dude, my pile for your Luka Gold, let's go. And the guy was like, no thanks. And I don't even, it wasn't even because it was a bad value proposition. It was just because like collectors don't want a pile. They don't want to liquidate a pile. So I was like, okay, so I sold a couple cards, had a couple paychecks come in. I was like, all right, time to buy this card. So I just sent an offer. The guy accepted it, did the deal, card comes in, just put the card in a box, feel nervous as hell, but the deal is done. To have spent that much money on a prospect was definitely an eye-opening experience. So we got that card. Now the guy who sold me the card, so then I started Luka Chat on Instagram. He comes into the Luka Chat, but he doesn't know I'm the guy from eBay, and so he starts telling this story. But I knew it was him. He's regretting having sold that card, and I just feel terrible. As the buyer, and he doesn't know I'm the buyer, so I'm just like, dude, keep your head up. Or I said something stupid like that. Wow. He leaves the chat, just bounces from the chat completely. But we finally brought him back into the chat a few days ago. So
did you finally reveal that you're the one that destroyed him?
No.
No. He still doesn't know.
No, I don't even think he cares, and he's more just like I don't like that I sold the card early. I don't think he cares that who it went to. But that's the story of that card. It's just an eBay deal. shipped. I remember it getting shipped overnight. It wasn't even like a huge deal, to be honest with you.
How much was it?
How much was it? I don't remember. It's a long time ago.
It was like $6,000. It was like $8,000.
It was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Stupid.
Check my records.
Sucked. $6,000. It was probably like $7,000, wasn't it?
I bet it was a lot more than that, but I just would have to.
No, it wasn't. It was like $9,000, $8,000, $9,000, something like that. I remember. It was not. It was less than 10.
I would have to confirm with my records.
The RPA was like 7 or 8 too.
The RPA was funny too because I was supposed to be studying, but Christina forced me to go to the card shop as usual. And
No,
so
that actually is true.
So we went to the card shop. We heard a rumor that somebody it was trade night. We heard a rumor that somebody there had pulled the Luca NTRPA. And so we were just kind of, oh, but nobody wants to say who it is. It's this big secret. So we opened a box of Prism Choice.
I opened 2 boxes because I was crying into my choice boxes that I wasn't the one who opened the Luca RPA.
Yes. And you pulled a tiger stripe of Melvin Frazier.
Yes.
And that caught the attention of a collector who turned out to be the one who had the NTRPA. And so we struck a deal with them and bought.
You just traded the tiger stripe straight up for the.
Yep, you caught us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even threw in the empty box.
It was a tough decision at the time. No, we ended up like making a deal with the guy, and like the guy was a college student from Asia actually, and he was he brought his buddy. We met up at the shop. Like it was a couple days later. We didn't do the deal. He brought a buddy. We met at the shop. We was like partial cash, partial card deal actually, and yeah, we did the deal and. Dude, doing high dollar deals, man. I feel like we're very used to them, but every time I meet a new collector and they're like, "Man, I don't know about sending $500 of cards in the mail. Like, are you serious?" And I just like do like a double take, and I'm like, "Wait, we are a little bit crazy sometimes."
When you tell like non-card people, like, "Oh, I just I have like a friend at work who asked me about the hobby because he's kind of interested in like my activity with it," and I'll be like, "Yeah, I bought some 25K card, wired the money last night." He's just like, wait, what? What did you just say?
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like another day in the hobby or whatever. It's like,
yes.
Oh my god.
No, it is. It is like 2 years ago, I spent $3,300 on a Michael Jordan Noise Boys PSA 10 at a PWCC auction. It was the most ever paid for that card. My heartbeat was, I probably was on the verge of a heart attack. It was just a big deal. And now a $3,300 deal, what's that? That's a Giannis Prism-based PSA 10. The amount of money, the way that money has changed. And I'm very lucky that I've been around to have seen and like grown with this hobby, because there's not a chance in hell I'd be able to come in as a new person and just be dropping thousands. It took 2 years to be able to work up to spend a few $1,000s on a card. It took years to get to that level.
What do you say to the guy who's coming in today then, who's like frustrated by that same thing?
I say patience is your best friend, and damn, timing in life matters, dude. Timing matters. Take your time, go slow. Do not fall victim to FOMO.
Good luck. Seriously, I mean, honestly, like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, just, do what I did. And like, honestly, it's going to be impossible because we started when it was just, a 10th, a 20th the price of today. And it's just, I just can't I can't like lie to you and be like, yeah, you're going to be able to get to what I'm at in 4 years. You just work hard. Like, yeah, you're just not. It's just not possible. You're going to have to lower your expectation and go into it with realistic outcomes. It's just the way it is.
Yep, and there's lots of stuff to be optimistic about because constantly lower end cards will take off. It happened with several insert sets this year. We're talking about high voltage. Those cards raw were $10-$20, and then they just absolutely took off. So, and I know people who built up piles like 50 of like the LeBron high voltage. You know, being strategic enough to like identify the LeBron high voltage, pick up 50 of them, PSA grade them, get 30 10s. That person just created a grail out of thin air. There are like Net Marbles was another one that blew up this year. Like this was like the year of like the low end brand insert blowing up. There will always be things like that happening. But you know what enables people to be successful in those areas is like they love cards. So they just are able to be like, man, I know sports cards. I know my history. I know what I like. I know what people like. You know, high voltage is going to be a popular insert. You know, and not every pick is correct. I thought that NBA City was going to be like a really popular insert, and it's okay. But so not you're not always right, but like it happens, and so like there always are opportunities, especially in the lower end. Like you know, Sports Card Analytics Jordan. He tells a story about how he picked up like so many Trae Young Prism base cards for $1 a piece, and just came back with just hundreds of PSA 10s, and the guy just made a year's salary off of it. So like there's always these opportunities in sports cards, and honestly the opportunities are really in the low end.
Yeah.
They really are.
Plus, I was going to make about how, you know, you and I starting in 2016, we had a leg up. There's guys that started in 2012 that we know.
Yes.
You and I see that you and I are just like drooling over their collections that we'll never get to. And if you go all the way back to like Exquisite Collector Tim, it's like the absolute poster boy for never leaving the hobby, always collecting, always doing what he loves. He's got the best collection on you know, it's like one of the best collections on Instagram. It's like, this is what your collection would look like if you collected hardcore from 2003 and never left. This is what it looks like.
He has every LeBron jersey numbered card from like 2005 Exquisite, right? Like every LeBron that's like 23 out of some, he has every single one. What the fuck?
I mean, it's only possible if you collected at a time when no one else collected.
Yeah.
It's the only possible way.
Yeah. And so, dude, that point about like 2020 guys relative to the 2016 class of collectors is very similar to 2016 class of collectors relative to 2020 to the 2012 guys who came in. It's super true. It's super true. And those guys in 2012 were looking at us in 2016 like, you guys are spending what on a insert? And you guys like what? Like we were getting these cards for 1/10 of this money back when we came in.
Yep.
We're like, yeah, but we're new. We don't care. We want these cards too. We're excited, you know.
Yeah, but those guys, like a lot of those 2012 guys, and you and I know them, and we know the 2003 and 2006 guys who were paying crazy money for Luka stuff. Crazy money. So that's because they're like, yeah, these are the new prices. Fuck it. This is what I gotta pay. I still love the hobby. I'm still a collector. These are the prices. I'll just pay them.
Yeah, and they have a lot of hobby equity, and they have a lot of rope. They have a lot of leeway. They can afford to take gambles.
That's true.
You know, because they've done so well in the hobby.
They can sell one card and become a Luka super collector.
Yeah, right. No, seriously. Santos Collectibles says 2003 for me. Wow.
One of the craziest cards to owner things I've ever seen is that Tim Exquisite Collector owns the LeBron 2019 Black Prism. Because you're just like, obviously you have all this crazy exquisite stuff. It's just an unreal collection, mostly because you were, you know, basically like, you know, competing against one or two other high-end guys. But now you're in an age when you're competing with thousands of guys over probably the most popular card from the most popular year of Prism, the Laker, and you have the 101. Like, how did this happen? Like, you're clearly just like on a different level of collecting than anyone else.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting point too. Is like that's a guy who could rest on his laurels and just be like, yeah, dude, I have the thickest exquisite LeBron collection ever. I was doing this from day one. I don't need to jump into the Shark Tank of 2018, 2019, 2020 Prism and Panini era when we have so much money in this hobby. I don't need this. I already have a King's collection, but nonetheless, he's still in the thick of it.
He's got the black shimmer too. is the black shimmer and the black base 101. How the fuck is that possible?
Dude, and you have to be so in tune, right? Like to the hobby to like be what just every day, every hour, looking on eBay, looking at all the different avenues. Because when a card like that does come up, it will go to a guy like Tim, and it will never be available again, ever.
Crazy, man. Yes, I do have a LeBron RPA. It's on. I'd see that post, and I'm just like, what? The other stuff, I get it. I don't understand how you got those cards. Both of them. It's like, that's like, it's a crazy accomplishment. I don't know how he does it.
He's so into the hobby. He's a guy, and he's very unassuming, you know? Like, if you look at the context clues, you can tell that he's like a legend, but like, he's the most humble guy in the world to chat with.
Is that the best Instagram account?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's got everything. It's got high quality pictures.
You're like, oh, look, big LeBrons, and he's got the 2-picture posts where it's like, oh, that's cool card. Swipe 23. Oh my god, 23 out of 100, 23 out of 50. What the hell? They're all 23.
Yeah, no, dude. He made that post. It was like, yeah, I completed the jersey numbered LeBron set of Exquisite. I just have every jersey numbered LeBron card from this year of Exquisite. And then, you know, or he'll make a post where it's like, yeah, I don't know the name of all the Exquisite sets, like limited logos from 2004, like, and then like the first picture in the carousel is like the LeBron, but then he has the whole set. It's like John Stockton, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael. He has the whole freaking set. You can just scroll through it. The guy's just a hardcore collector, and he's great. Yeah, Exquisite Collector is his IG.
I had the privilege to spend an hour with him on a video chat doing that trade that I did with him, where I traded the Jordan PMG championship for his LeBron number pieces 09. Dude, like you said, just crazy humble. And it was like, it just felt like I was just talking to a regular collector. And it's like, dude, you've got like millions and millions of dollars in cards. And he just, you would never know.
So, such a God, that guy's a legend. I'm so glad he showed up on Instagram. Okay, Cardboard Junkie says, this is a key question of mine. How do you identify those cards? I think he's talking about like Prism Black 101s and stuff like that. Is it just learning product checklists? Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's talking about inserts. Maybe you could clarify, Cardboard Junkie, how do you learn? Do you just study checklists inside and out? What do you mean? Like, how do you learn? Like, how do you figure out what are these monster cards that we all just salivate over? Clarify, please. What's his home address? Yep to what? Yep to which one? I'm pretty sure I said an either or.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys his soch. You ready?
Both. Okay.
How do you get to know the best cards?
Yes.
You said it earlier. It's gonna be a real short answer. Immersion.
Yeah.
Is it the word immersion?
Yes.
Immerse yourself. It's the only way. There's nobody, not a single collector, no matter what they tell you, who is successful, who is passively in this hobby. Doesn't exist. That's it.
So true. So true. Immersion is absolutely key.
Dude, you and I know. I don't want to name drop, so I won't do that because that's shitty. You and I know celebrities that try to come into the hobby either through us or through other people, celebrities, famous people with millions of followers who have not been successful because they came in and just said like, hey, what do I buy? Like what do I buy today? And we're just sort of like, well, we can help you, but like, it's not going to be that easy. And they buy a bunch of stuff and then they get pissed off. And then, and then, we're just sort of standing there like, what did you think was going to happen? It's not that you can't just come in. And granted, a lot of celebrities have come in and just sort of bought stuff 6 months ago and made money. Pokemon people or whatever, Logan Paul, all these guys. But like long term, it's just they're not going to be as successful as other guys like that we know that have been in it a lot longer. So
it's true. It's very difficult to take a shortcut to success in the hobby, although it has happened. Okay, the other thing too, I would say the hardest cards to find because super short prints aren't listed on the packs. Okay, so here's one way. it's part of immersion, player collecting. So like there's a player collector of Celtics players on Instagram. What? Oh man, I can't believe the name of the account is slipping my mind. He goes on the Wax Museum podcast from time to time. Steve is his name. He player collects like Jaylen Brown and Crowder.
Howley? S. Howley? Stephen Howley?
Yes. And so he player collects different Celtics guys. And so every year he goes and he tries to get every player, including the one-on-ones, make every rainbow of his PC players. And that's a great way. That's very intense, but it's a great way to learn every product and to be in tune to every product and to figure out the hierarchy of like what cards are most important for a player, because you'll find out right away that the Jay Crowder Prism Black 1/1 is a lot more difficult to get your hands on than, you know, the absolute certified gold team base card or something like that. Those are like two extremes, but like you'll figure out really quickly which cards are tough to get and are hot commodities. Like player collecting, I think, is like a really, really good way.
You can easily infer from that. Okay, well, you know, if this one's hard to get, then people are going to want the LeBron or the Luka of that card.
Yeah, exactly. It all follows through. Like, yeah, but like looking at checklists, like if you have the discipline to do that, I can't look at a checklist. Checklists bore the hell out of me, you know. And they're really long, and there's lots of crap in all these different products. Like, you know, there's good shortcuts to it. You know, it's being in the community, and people will steer you.
What are some things you search on eBay to find cool, rare stuff? Is literally the eBay query? Yes.
Yeah. Some of my saved searches are Christian McCaffrey 1/1, Christian McCaffrey gold, LeBron Prism gold, LeBron Optic gold. Every Michael Jordan insert I pretty much have saved. And you want to make a broad enough search that you don't exclude stuff. So you don't want to limit it to one grade or anything.
You have to wade through some shit that we get sometimes.
Yeah, you do, but that's almost fun. You know, and then you get to see how annoying people on eBay can be too, with the way that they list and how many different things people consider a 1/1 that are not a 1/1. It's a lot.
The worst search query is LeBron refractor, which I have because I don't want to miss a single LeBron refractor. But my God, that is not a refractor. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So you got LeBron refractor. I know this. Like this is kind of delicate. Yeah. So the meme has Trey GMA 10.
Dude, hold on. Dude, PWCC has a GMA 10 card. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
Is it graded as well by MBMA Diamond? So like it's a GMA 10 certified, true GMA 10.
Is that the lamest card you could possibly have as a GMA 10 certified platinum? Could it be worse?
No.
Yes, Grant, dude. Chris is the parentheses dash God.
Yeah, you have to use them. You have to use them if you're trying to. Well, parentheses can help you make one search into like 5 searches. You go so like here's a free stupid tip. People spell Jordan wrong all the time. Jordan and Jordan, right? So you can use the parentheses to make sure your search captures both Jordan and Jordan. Owen.
Yeah, Chris, why don't you collect autos? What are you, some kind of idiot?
Autos are great. Respect auto collectors. You guys are just way out of my league. That's really what that boils down to.
You gotta pick your spots. That's actually he led us into a topic of like, especially when you're collecting guys at that level. Sometimes you gotta pick your spots. You can't collect it all. You can't. It's impossible to own every card. So like, know your limits and know what you like more.
Yeah, pick a lane. I also like being able to like actually accomplish something within a set of parameters is important to me. Like, I want to be able to get like a handful of 90s grails of Jordan like that. I like that more than having like one of this guy, one Jordan auto, one Jordan grail. Like I like to be more like if I'm going to focus on Jordan 90s grails, I really want to like focus on those.
Yeah, totally. That's like, exquisite Jordan cards for you aren't like super important to you. So like, then don't collect them because one Jordan exquisite card is going to set you back, and you're going to have to give up on other things you like more.
Yes. And glass half full. When we focus on like one era, like playing years, 90s serial number Jordans, like then there's other stuff that you can move on to later. Like the exquisite, the Pandora's box of exquisite. I've never opened it. Like I can move on to that if I get bored with 90s Jordans.
Don't. You're so effed.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that.
You're like, oh, well, let me see what other guys got. Oh, exquisite collection. Oh, fuck.
I know. Yeah, no, that's
because you're just, dude. His Instagram is so insane. It's it's so insane that like as you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you're scrolling like you get numb to it to where you're scrolling past like $10,000 cards and you're just like, oh, what? That's lame. Oh, well, there we go. There's something good. It's like, dude, you just scrolled past like cards that other people would be their best card.
Yes. Yeah. It's hard to describe that, but the guy could make one the guy has made one post before that just engulfs many times over my entire PC.
Yeah. Like one section of 9 posts of his is just like your whole PC.
Yeah, dude, the guy's looking like every LeBron jersey numbered card from Exquisite from 2005. It's like,
and then he's got like triple exquisite LeBron, Jordan, Kobe numbered to 3. It's like, what the fuck? Dude.
You know what's great too? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Jordan, I love Lamell, and I have this joke with Christian where I'm just like, make more memes, bitch, and he knows that I'm just joking.
Yeah, the irony of that too is, God, that guy makes so many freaking memes. He's
so good at it that it's like, just make more memes. Nobody cares about anything else you do. Make more memes. And clearly, he has like much more to offer than that.
Would you guys in the chat buy Lamell merch? Because I know he's getting ready.
God, if you could request custom shirts of like, here's the meme I want on a shirt. Oh my God, he would clean up.
Dude, I know, and the only reason he doesn't do it, it's not fair to call him lazy because the guy makes so many memes. But Lamell, just do it, man. Do it.
Dude, I would get a Wind Beneath My Wings Chris face meme under me in a boat so fast. So fast.
I would get the matching pair. I would have to get the matching shirt.
You're the sale and I'm yeah. we gotta end this. This is getting ridiculous.
all right. This is great. Shout out to the chat. Another Friday night in the hobby.
I never know what to title these after I hit end and I save it. I'm just like, I suck at that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna title this like Lamell and Exquisite Collector are awesome or something.
You do a good job with those, actually. That's good. That sums this one up pretty well, I think.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, buddy.
Later, bud.
The future is here. An innovation that will change the way the industry works. A Hot 100 chart, updated daily. The most accurate price guide on the market. Every card has its own profile with a wealth of information. Know the precise, real-time value of any card in the system. On demand. You now have the power to unlock the secrets of the hobby.